What's up, it's your boy NT Mix back again with another video, and today we're doing our NRL match predictions with scores for round 2. Now, give you just a brief rundown on what the series is in case you're new. I just go through every match in the NRL round coming up, and I give a prediction of the score and the outcome, and we're running with a point system where if I get the outcome right and the score right, I win 2 points. If I get the outcome right but the score wrong, I get 1 point, and if I get the outcome wrong and the score wrong, I get no points. Last week, I picked up 3 out of a possible 16 points with getting the outcome right for Melbourne versus Brisbane. They won 22-12. I predicted 22-14. I got another point for predicting the outcome of Warriors and Bulldogs correctly with an incorrect score. I predicted Warriors to win 22-10. They won 40-6. And I predicted the North Queensland Cowboys versus the St. George game right in terms of outcome, but again, incorrect score. I predicted a 22-16 win, and they won 24-12. The rest of the games, I got outcome and score wrong. Now, to get onto this week's predictions, we start off with St. George and Illawarra Dragons versus the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Dragons at home. Look, Dragons weren't the best last week. South Sydney, really good performance. They'll be on a high after that form. Really good form of beating last year's premiers, and I just don't see enough with the Saints to be able to come in and put a performance here. I just think Rabbitohs have a better forward pack, will control the game better, and I mean, Saints could test them, but I just don't see it really. I'm going to go 28-12 for South Sydney. Next game is going to be the Raiders versus the Storm in Canberra. Will be a test. I do feel it will be a slightly scrappy game, but I just think Melbourne, with the experience they have, Cameron Smith, leading that team around the park, they do have a solid enough forward pack and decent enough players around to be able to, just really grind this win out. And I do think that defensively, they will be solid enough that the Raiders will have a lot of trouble breaking them down. I'm going to go with Melbourne 16 to Canberra Raiders 6. You got the Brisbane Broncos versus the North Queensland Cowboys. This is going to be a massive derby. This is a generally massive derby here, the Queensland one. But some of the players that made this really special are gone from both teams now. And, I mean, obviously, maybe more coach for Brisbane than player. Wayne Bennett not coaching Brisbane anymore, and JT not playing for the Cowboys. But this is still going to be a good game. Brisbane at home, I do think they will show up and perform. But North Queensland just have more control in the halves with Michael Morgan. So I do feel that they will just get the win. It'll be 22-16, I think, to Cowboys. You have the Sharks versus the Titans at Cronulla at home. I don't know if it's at Shark Park. Exactly, I could be wrong. Titans, nothing real special against the Raiders. They lost 21-0. Cronulla lost to Newcastle, but you have to feel they got the better squad. They'll want the win more this round, I feel, to be able to turn it around and not go down a rut. They will be wanting to compete for that top 8. And especially with them at home, I do see them having a pretty solid game. Also, I'm not sure that Ash Taylor will be available for this game. So I'm going to go 22-6, Cronulla beat Titans. We've got the Newcastle Knights versus the Penrith Panthers next. Newcastle at home here. Newcastle I think they've done a really good job to beat the Sharks last week. And Panthers were poor against Parramatta. I mean, they may have finished kind of fast, but Parramatta held that out ultimately. Malone, nobody grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, which is what I thought was going to happen, and I thought would be Parramatta's downfall, but Panthers just failed to do that, and that's really poor. So, and they just they don't look flowing, and they look a bit more disjointed and clunky at times. Newcastle at home, they'll be really confident, and I do feel Penrith will turn it around, but just not this game. I'm going to go 20-12. Newcastle win it. The next game is going to be Manly Sea Eagles versus Sydney Roosters. Manly were poor against the Tigers. Straight out. Don't show enough signs to be at all competitive. And the Roosters lost to the Rabbitohs, but they're still a really class outfit on paper. They're winners as well, so you got to back them for the winning mentality, and they will want to get their season back on track to really prove that we are premiership contenders. Do not underestimate us at all. And I think that result that they would have got against South Sydney should be the wake-up call to get them off that premiership hangover and really muck in and show up. So if that is the case, this could get ugly for Manly. I'm going to go 32-6. Roosters win. You got the Bulldogs versus the Eels next. Bulldogs, similar to Manly, just not really showing me anything that they're going to look competitive. Parramatta, on the other hand, did. At surface level, this should be a pretty simple win for Parramatta, but again, derby, bitter rivals. And if Dogs don't at least show up and put in some fight this game, serious questions have to be asked about Dean Pay as coach, about their playing group. You know, it's not good enough from a Dogs standpoint to be losing this, to be getting whipped this match. Whereas Parramatta, I think they're the team, again, that also need the win because they're coming off against a good result versus Panthers, but they need to show that they can do this consistently week to week, and they've got Roosters in round 3, so they need to put in a big performance to say, you know, you might be the favourites, yeah, but we're not going to let you do 50, 60 points on us like in the past. We're putting in a performance regardless. They got to show that intent, and that could make for a very good game, but I think Parramatta... I think the Dogs will go and put in some fight at the very least, but I think that if Parramatta can show that intent, which if anybody can get that out of them, it's Brad Arthur, they could, I think that they will go, put in the performance, and they should win. But, you know, just because they have been inconsistent and things like that, don't underestimate the chances that Dogs could pull an upset, but yeah, Parramatta. I'm pretty confident in that. 26-12, I'm going to go Parramatta. They will have a solid performance, and they will be knocking on Roosters' door to make sure that they notice, you know. But yeah, 26-12, Parramatta win. And the final game of the round, the Tigers versus the Warriors. Pretty even on paper, I guess, these sides. Tigers coming off a good win, so are Warriors, but... I mean, Tigers won in a match where it was a little... kind of hard to call going into it. And I even predicted Manly to win. So, yeah, it was a kind of game where you really couldn't tell who was going to win. Whereas the Warriors, you really thought they should have won. They just did what they, you know, you thought they would do, but just to a bit higher extent. But Warriors away from home are often dreadful. Tigers, I feel, are in a spot where they can continue that momentum, and you never know. So... I'm actually going to go for a Tigers win here, 20-12. So yeah, they're my predictions for this round. Something I was going to mention at the start of the video, but it slipped my mind, is I want to set a rough goal for points at the end of the season in terms of my predictions. The points goal I'm going to set is 105. I've got 3 points, and there's another 24 weeks to go. If I'm getting on average, say, 4 to 5 points a round, I should be able to hit that. Roughly. That's where I'm thinking, 4 to 5 points a round, roughly, on average. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to Notorious Migs. And leave your predictions in the comments, guys. Leave them in there. And let's keep this series going. I'm really enjoying it. And I will be catching you next week with the next round of predictions. And also sometime soon, I am planning to do predictions for where each team should place on the ladder. So thank you for watching.